The morning sun painted the rocks orange on planet Kepler 442c. Lee Du-hyun wiped sweat from his face as he climbed down into the canyon. His boots crunched on the strange purple sand. He had been working on this planet for 6 months now, but it still felt alien to him. Du-hyun was a scientist who studied alien life forms. He was young, only 25 years old, but he was very good at his job. The research station had sent him to look for fossils in this canyon. Most days he found nothing interesting, just old rocks and dust, but today felt different. His scanner made a soft beeping sound. Du-hyun stopped walking and looked at the small screen. The numbers were jumping around like crazy. He had never seen readings like this before. What the hell? He said to himself. The scanner was pointing toward a pile of rocks near the canyon wall. Du-hyun walked over and started moving the stones. They were heavy, and his back hurt after a few minutes. But something was buried underneath. It was an egg. Du-hyun stared at it for a long time. The egg was about the size of a soccer ball, but it was not like any egg he had ever seen. The shell looked like it was made of crystal. Strange patterns moved across its surface like slow lightning. The patterns glowed with a soft blue light. "This is impossible," Du-hyun whispered. He took pictures with his camera. Then he used his scanner to check the egg. The readings were off the charts. This thing was old, very old. Maybe millions of years old, but it was not dead. The scanner showed life signs inside. Du-hyun's hands shook as he carefully lifted the egg. It was warm. He could feel something moving inside it, like a heartbeat. He should call his boss right now. He should report this to Earth Command. That was the rule, but Du-hyun was curious. He was a scientist. He wanted to understand what this thing was. The egg pulsed with light as he held it. The patterns on the shell moved faster now. It was beautiful and scary at the same time. Du-hyun made a decision that would change everything. He put the egg in his backpack and started walking back to the research station. The station was small, just 5 buildings connected by covered walkways. Only 12 people lived there. Most of them were scientists like Du-hyun. They were far from Earth, far from any help if something went wrong. Du-hyun went straight to his lab. He did not talk to anyone. He closed the door and locked it. Then he took the egg out of his backpack and put it on his desk. The egg was even more beautiful. Under the lab lights, the crystal shell showed different colors now. Red, blue, green, and gold. The patterns moved like living things. "What are you?" Du-hyun asked the egg. His computer beeped. Someone was knocking on his door. "Du-hyun? Are you in there?" It was Park. Sujin, his research partner. She was his best friend on the station. Maybe his only real friend. Du-hyun quickly put a cloth over the egg. "Come in, Sujin. Open the door." She was 23 years old, with short black hair and smart eyes. She always worried about everything, but she was a good scientist. "You look strange," she said. "Did you find something today?" "Just some old rocks," Du-hyun lied. He hated lying to Sujin, but he was not ready to share this discovery yet. Sujin walked around the lab. Her eyes stopped on the cloth covering the egg. "What is under there?" "Nothing important, just some samples." Sujin gave him a look. She knew he was lying. She had known him for 3 years. "Du-hyun, you are acting weird." "What did you really find?" Du-hyun looked at his friend. He trusted her more than anyone. Maybe he should tell her. But what if she made him report the egg? What if Earth Command took it away before he could study it? "I found something," he said slowly. "But I need to understand it first." "What kind of something?" Du-hyun pulled away the cloth. Sujin gasped. The egg was glowing brighter now. The patterns moved faster, like they were excited. "Oh my God," Sujin whispered. "What is it?" "I think it is an egg." "But not like any egg in our database." Sujin stepped closer. The egg pulsed with light as she approached. "Du-hyun, this is incredible. But it is also dangerous. We do not know what is inside. That is why I want to study it. You should report this right now." "This is too big for us to handle alone." Du-hyun shook his head. "If I report it, they will take it away. Earth Command We'll put it in some lab on Earth. I will never see it again. Maybe that is for the best? The egg pulsed again. This time, both scientists felt something strange, like a voice in their minds, but not words, just feelings, curiosity, loneliness, hope. Did you feel that? Sujin asked. Hyan nodded. It is trying to communicate. Sujin backed away from the egg. This is getting dangerous. We need to tell someone. Give me 3 days, Dahayan said. Let me run some tests first. If it is dangerous, I will report it. Sujin looked at her friend. She could see how excited he was. Duhayan had been sad lately. He missed Earth. He missed his family. This discovery was making him happy again. 3 days, she said. But if anything goes wrong, we call Earth Command immediately. Duhayan smiled. Thank you, Sujin. That night, Duhayan stayed in his lab. He ran every test he could think of. The egg was amazing. The shell was made of materials that should not exist. The life form inside was complex, more complex than anything. On Earth, as he worked, the egg grew warmer. The patterns moved faster. Something was happening inside. Duhayan fell asleep at his desk. When he woke up, the sun was rising. The egg was still there, but it looked different. There were small cracks in the shell. His heart started beating fast. The egg was hatching. Duhayan called Sujin. Get down here right now. It is happening. Sujin ran to the lab. She found Duhayan staring at the egg. The cracks were getting bigger. Light was shining through them. Should we move away? Sujin asked. No, Duhayan said. I think it wants us here. The egg shook. More cracks appeared. Then, with a soft sound like breaking glass, the shell split open. Something small and wet crawled out. It was about the size of a cat, but it looked like a tiny dragon. It had 4 legs, small wings, and a long tail. Its scales were dark blue with silver patterns. Its eyes were large and bright gold. The creature looked at Duhayan and made a soft, chirping sound. Then it stumbled toward him on shaky legs. It is just a baby, Sujin whispered. Duhayan reached out his hand. The creature sniffed his fingers, then rubbed against them like a cat. It was warm and soft. Hello there, Duhayan said softly. I am Duhayan, the creature chirped again. It climbed onto Duhayan's hand, then up his arm to his shoulder. It curled up against his neck like it belonged there. Duhayan felt tears in his eyes. This was the most beautiful moment of his life. But he did not know that this small, innocent creature would soon bring death and destruction to his world. He did not know that somewhere in the galaxy, an ancient queen was waking up from her sleep. She had felt the birth of her child. And she was very, very angry. The dragon had been born, and nothing would ever be the same again. 2 days had passed since the creature hatched. Duhayan had barely slept. He spent every moment watching the small dragon-like being. It was growing fast. Too fast. The creature was already twice as big as when it first crawled out of the egg. Its wings were stronger now. It could fly around the lab for short distances. Duhayan had named it Spark because of the small flashes of electricity that danced across its scales. This is not normal, Sujin said as she watched Spark eat. The creature had a huge appetite. It ate meat, plants, and even some metals. Nothing grows this fast. Duhayan was sitting at his desk making notes. Spark was curled up on his shoulder, making soft purring sounds. The creature never wanted to be far from him. Look at these test results, Duhayan said. He showed Sujin his computer. Screen. Its DNA has sequences I have never seen before. Some of them should not be possible. Sujin looked at the data. Her face went pale. These energy readings. Duhayan, this creature can manipulate electricity, maybe other forms of energy too. As if it understood them, Spark lifted its head. Its golden eyes sparkled. Small bolts of blue lightning danced between its claws. The lights in the lab flickered. It is getting stronger, Duhayan said with excitement. Yesterday it could barely light up a small bulb. Now it can affect the whole lab. That is exactly why I am worried, Sujin said. What happens when it gets even stronger? What if it cannot control its power? Spark jumped down from Duhayan's shoulder. It walked over to Sujin and rubbed against her leg. She looked down at the creature. Its eyes were intelligent and kind. It seemed to understand that she was scared. It would never hurt us, Du Hyan said. Look at it. It is just a baby. Sujin petted Spark's head. The creature purred and closed its eyes. Maybe you are right, but we still need to be careful. Loud beeping sound filled the lab. Someone was calling them on the communication system. Du Hyan quickly put Spark in a storage box with air holes. He did not want anyone else to see the creature yet. This is Du Hyan, he said into the microphone. Du Hyan, this is Captain Yoon Jae-ho. I need you and Sujin to come to the main building. Right now we have a visitor. Du Hyan and Sujin looked at each other. They rarely had visitors on this planet. It was too far from the main space routes. We will be right there, Du Hyan said. He looked at the storage box. Spark was scratching at the walls, trying to get out. I will be back soon, Du Hyan whispered to the creature. The main building was busy when they arrived. All the station workers were there. At the center of the room stood a man Du Hyan had never seen before. He was tall and thin, with gray hair and tired eyes. His clothes were dirty and torn. This is Kim Woo-bin, Captain Yoon said. He is a space trader. His ship is damaged and he needs supplies. Kim Woo-bin looked at everyone in the room. His eyes were serious. I am not just here for supplies, he said. I came to warn you. Something terrible is happening in the galaxy. What do you mean? Captain Yoon asked. Colonies are disappearing, Kim Woo-bin said. Entire planets are going silent. No one knows why, but there are rumors about massive alien warships moving through space. Du Hyan felt his heart start beating faster. What kind of warships? The kind that can destroy a planet, Kim Woo-bin said. I have seen the remains of 3 colonies. Nothing left but ash and melted metal. Sujin grabbed Du Hyan's arm. She was thinking the same thing he was. Could this be connected to Spark? There is more, Kim Woo-bin continued. The aliens are looking for something. They attack colonies and search every building. They are looking for something very important. What are they looking for? Captain Yoon asked. No one knows, but they call it the Air of Flames. Whatever it is, they want it badly. Du Hyan's blood turned cold. The Air of Flames? Could that be Spark? How far away are these attacks? Sujin asked. The closest one was only 2 star systems from here, Kim Woo-bin said. That was 5 days ago. Captain Yoon stood up. We need to contact Earth Command immediately. They need to know about this. I already tried, Kim Woo-bin said. Long range. Communications are being blocked. Someone does not want news of these attacks to spread. Du Hyan felt sick. If the aliens were looking for Spark, then the research station was in danger. Everyone here could die because of his decision to keep the creature. We need to evacuate, one of the scientists said. With what? Captain Yoon asked. We only have 2 small ships. They cannot carry everyone. My ship can take maybe 6 people, Kim Woo-bin said. But the engine is damaged. It will take time to fix. Du Hyan stood up. I need to go back to my lab. I have important research that cannot be lost, Sujin nodded. I will help him. They ran back to the lab. Du Hyan opened the storage box. Spark jumped out and immediately climbed onto his shoulder. The creature was agitated. It kept looking at the ceiling and making worried chirping sounds. It can sense something, Sujin said. Animals can sometimes feel danger before humans can. Du Hyan ran to his computer. He started copying all his research data. If Kim Woo-bin is right, and the aliens are looking for the Air of Flames, then Spark might be what they want. What are you going to do? I do not know. But I cannot let them have Spark, and I cannot let everyone here die because of my mistake. Spark suddenly became very still. Its golden eyes widened. It was staring at something Du Hyan could not see. What is it? Du Hyan asked. The creature made a sound Du Hyan had never heard before. It was like a scream of fear mixed with anger. Spark's scales began to glow brighter. Small lightning bolts jumped between its claws. Something is wrong, Sujin said. The lights in the lab went out. Emergency power kicked in, bathing everything in red light. An alarm started blaring throughout the station. Du Hyan's radio crackled. To life, it was Captain Yoon's voice, but he sounded terrified. All personnel to emergency stations. We have multiple contacts on long-range sensors. Large ships dropping out of hyperspace. This is not a drill. Du Hyan and Sujin looked at each other. The aliens had found them. Spark jumped down from Du Hyan's shoulder. The creature was changing. It was growing bigger, right before their eyes. Its wings spread wide, its claws grew longer and sharper. The electricity dancing across its scales became brighter and more dangerous. It is transforming, Sujin whispered. Du Hyan knelt down beside Spark. Hey, it is okay. We will protect you. The creature looked at him with its intelligent golden eyes. For a moment, Du Hyan saw something there that made his heart stop. This was not just a simple animal. This was something much more powerful. Something that could change the fate of the galaxy. Kim Woo-bin's voice came over the radio. I am reading. 6 massive ships. They are bigger than anything I have ever seen. They are moving into attack formation. Captain Yoon's voice was shaking. All civilians to the emergency bunkers. This is it, people. Whatever they want, they are willing to kill for it. Du Hyan picked up Spark. The creature was warm and trembling. I'm sorry, he whispered. I am so sorry I brought this danger to everyone, but as he held the small dragon, he felt something else. Spark was not just afraid, it was angry. These aliens had scared its human friends. And Spark would not let anyone hurt the people it loved. The creature looked up at Du Hyan and chirped once. It was a sound of determination. Whatever was coming, they would face it together. Outside, the alien ships moved closer. In the darkness of space, massive weapons began to charge. The hunt for the heir of flames had finally led them here, and they would not leave empty-handed. The alien ships hung in space like dark clouds. Du Hyan watched them through his lab window. Each ship was bigger than the entire research station. Their black hulls reflected no light. They looked like death itself. Spark was still growing. The creature was now the size of a large dog. Its wings could carry it across the room easily. The electricity around its body was stronger too. When Spark got excited, all the lights in the lab flickered. The aliens are not attacking yet, Sujin said. She was monitoring the radio channels. They are just ... waiting. Waiting for what? Du Hyan asked. Captain Yoon's voice came over the radio. All personnel, stay in your positions. The alien ships are scanning our station. They have not made any hostile moves yet. Du Hyan held Spark close to his chest. The creature was warm and its heartbeat was very fast. They are looking for you, are they not? He whispered. Spark looked up at him with its golden eyes. The creature made a soft sound that seemed to say, yes. Kim Woo-bin's voice crackled through. The radio. Captain, I am picking up movement. A small ship is separating from the main fleet. It is heading for the station. Is it armed? Captain Yoon asked. I cannot tell, but it is moving fast. Du Hyan made a decision. Sujin, help me get Spark to the emergency bunker. If the aliens board the station, I want him hidden. They were about to leave when the lab door burst open. A strange figure stumbled inside. It was tall and thin, with gray skin and 4 arms. Its head was shaped like a triangle, and it had 3 eyes. Du Hyan and Sujin screamed. But the alien held up its hands in a peaceful gesture. Please, it said. In broken English, I am friend. I help you. You are one of them, Sujin said. She was backing toward the emergency alarm. No, the alien said. I am rebel. I fight against Queen. My name is Kiplun. Du Hyan stepped forward, still holding Spark. What queen? Kiplun has 3 eyes focused on the small dragon. Oh no, it is true. You have the heir. The heir to what? Du Hyan demanded. The heir of flames, the child of Queen Vexara. The most dangerous being in the galaxy. Du Hyan looked down at Spark. The creature was purring softly and playing with Du Hyan's fingers. This little thing? Dangerous? You do not understand, Kiplun said. Vexara is the Galactic Queen. She has ruled for thousands of years. She is cruel and powerful. Her dragons are her weapons. They destroy entire worlds. Sujin sat down heavily in a chair. Dragons? You mean there are more like Spark? Many more. But this one is special. This is her child, her heir. It was stolen from her many years ago during the Great Rebellion. Du-Hyan felt sick. How do you know all this? I was there, Kiplon said. I helped steal the egg. We thought we had hidden it where she would never find it, but now it has hatched and she knows. The queen knows? Du-Hyan asked. She felt it the moment the egg cracked. All royal dragons are connected by mind. She has been searching for her child ever since. Spark chirped and flew to Du-Hyan's shoulder. The creature seemed to understand what they were talking about. Its golden eyes were sad. What does she want? Sujin asked. She wants her heir back, and she wants to punish anyone who touched it. Du-Hyan felt anger rising in his chest. Spark is not a weapon. It is just a baby. You are wrong, Kiplon said. Royal dragons are born with great power. As it grows, it will become stronger than any ship, any army. In the right hands, it could rule the galaxy. Then we will not. Let it fall into the wrong hands, Du-Hyan said. Kiplon stared at him. You would fight the queen? She has destroyed star systems. She has killed billions. I will not give up Spark. The alien's three eyes widened. You care for the creature? It is not a creature, it is part of my family. Spark rubbed against Du-Hyan's neck. The dragon was listening to every word. It understood that its human friend was willing to fight for it. There is something else, Kiplon said. The queen is not coming herself. She has sent Morthuk. Who? Is Morthuk? Sujin asked. Her general. Her most trusted dragon. He is ancient and powerful. He has never lost a battle. He destroys everything in his path. The radio crackled. Captain Yoon's voice was shaking. All personnel, the alien ship has docked with our station. They are requesting permission to board. Do not let them, Du-Hyan said into his radio. We do not have a choice, Captain Yoon replied. If we refuse, they will destroy the station. Kiplon grabbed Du-Hyan's arm. You must hide the heir. If Morthuk finds it, he will take it back to the queen, and he will kill everyone here as punishment. Where? Can we hide? Sujin asked. The old mining tunnels beneath the station, Kiplon said. They are deep and narrow. Even Morthuk cannot fit down there. Du-Hyan picked up his research equipment. Help me carry this. I will not leave my work behind. They gathered everything they could carry. Spark flew around the room, seeming to understand they were leaving. The dragon landed on Du-Hyan's shoulder and made a determined chirping sound. The service elevator will take us to the tunnels, Sujin said. They were about to leave when heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway. The footsteps were too loud to be human. Something very large was walking toward the lab. Morthuk, Kiplon whispered. He is here. The footsteps stopped outside the lab door. They heard a deep voice speaking in an alien language. The words sounded like distant thunder. He is talking to his soldiers, Kiplon translated. He says the air is close. He can smell it. Du-Hyan looked at the service elevator. It was only 20 feet away, but they would have to cross the main hallway to reach it. We have to try, he said. They opened the lab door slowly. The hallway was empty, but they could hear alien voices from the next corridor. Du-Hyan stepped out first, holding Spark tight. The dragon was very quiet, as if it knew they were in danger. They made it halfway to the elevator when disaster struck. Spark suddenly cried out in pain. The creature's scales flashed bright blue. It was like a signal, visible through the entire station. No, Kiplon said. The royal blood is reacting. Morthuk will feel it. A roar shook the entire station. It was the sound of pure rage. Heavy footsteps began running toward them. Move! Du-Hyan shouted. They ran for the elevator. Sujin reached it first and pressed the button. The doors began to open slowly. Too slowly, the footsteps were getting closer. They could hear walls breaking as something massive forced its way through the station. The elevator doors opened. They jumped inside. Du-Hyan pressed the button for the lowest level. The doors began to close. Just before they shut, Du-Hyan saw something that made his blood freeze. A massive shape appeared at the end of the hallway. It was bigger than any living thing he had ever seen. Its eyes glowed red like fire. Its claws were longer than swords. Morthak had found them. The dragon general roared again. The sound was so loud it cracked the elevator walls. But the doors were closed now, and they were moving down. He knows we are here, Kipling said. He will find us. Then we fight, Du-Hyan said. Spark looked up at him and chirped. The small dragon's eyes were brighter now. It was no longer just a scared baby. It was ready to protect its family. The elevator reached the bottom. The doors opened to reveal dark tunnels carved into the rock. They ran into the darkness, not knowing if they would ever see daylight again. Behind them, they heard Morthak tearing apart the station, searching for the air he had come to claim. The mining tunnels were cold and dark. Du-Hyan, Sujin, and Kipling had been hiding for 2 hours. They could hear Morthak destroying the station above them. Metal screamed as the dragon general tore apart walls and floors. Spark was restless. The small dragon kept pacing back and forth in the narrow tunnel. Its scales glowed brighter with each passing minute. The creature was getting angry. It wants to fight, Kipling said quietly. Royal dragons do not like to hide. It is just a baby, Du-Hyan whispered. It cannot fight something like Morthak. You are wrong, Kipling said. Age does not matter for royal blood. The power is there from birth. Above them, the sounds of destruction stopped. Everything became quiet. Too quiet. Sujin checked her. Radio. I am getting signals from the surface. Captain Yoon is trying to contact us. She adjusted the frequency. Captain Yoon's voice came through, but it was full of fear. If anyone can hear this, stay hidden. The Dragon General has taken control of the station. He is demanding that we turn over something called the Air of Flames. He says he will kill everyone if we do not give it to him. Du-Hyan felt sick. His friends were going to die because of his decision to keep Spark. I have to go up there, Du-Hyan said. I have to tell him I have what he wants. No, Kipling said. Morthak will kill you anyway. He always kills the witnesses. Then what do we do? Kipling was quiet for a long moment. There might be a way, but it is very dangerous. Tell. Morthak is powerful, but he is not smart. He thinks only about following orders. If we can trick him... Spark suddenly stopped pacing. The dragon was listening to something they could not hear. Its golden eyes grew wide with alarm. He is coming, Kipling said. He found the elevator shaft. Heavy footsteps echoed through the tunnels. Each step made the walls shake. Dust fell from the ceiling. This way, Kipling said. He led them deeper into the tunnels. The passages were getting narrower. Soon they were crawling on their hands and knees. Behind them they heard a terrible sound. Morthak was forcing his massive body into the tunnels. Rock cracked and broke as he pushed forward. He is too big for these tunnels, Sujin said. Maybe he will get stuck. He will not get stuck, Kipling said. He will just tear through the rock. They reached a large cave deep underground. Old mining equipment was scattered around the floor. There was nowhere else to run. We make our stand here, Du-Hyan said. Morthak's voice boomed through the tunnels. He was speaking in the human language now, but his words were like thunder. Humans! I know you are down there. Give me the air, and I will make your deaths quick. Du-Hyan stepped forward. I am here, he shouted back, but I will not give you Spark. A terrible laugh echoed through the cave. Spark? You named the air of flame Spark? How amusing. The sound of breaking rock got louder. Morthak was almost there. Listen to me, Du-Hyan shouted. Spark does not want to go with you. It chooses to stay here. The air does not get to choose. It belongs to the queen. Nobody belongs to anyone. Du-Hyan yelled. Spark is free to choose its own path. Suddenly, the wall of the cave exploded inward. Rock and dust filled the air. When it cleared, Morthak stood before them. The dragon general was huge. His head touched the ceiling of the cave. His scales were black as space with red markings. Like flowing lava, his claws were as long as swords. His eyes burned like two red suns. "So small," Morthok said, looking at Duhayan, "so weak, yet you dare to defy the queen." Spark flew up from Duhayan's shoulder. The small dragon hovered in the air between Duhayan and Morthok. Its tiny body was glowing with blue electricity. Morthok laughed. "The air wishes to protect you? How pathetic. Come, young one, your mother is waiting," Spark chirped once. It was not a sound of fear, it was a sound of defiance. "I said come." Morthok roared. Spark's answer was a bolt of blue lightning. The electricity hit Morthok in the chest. The massive dragon stumbled backward. "Impossible," Morthok said. "The air is too young to have such power." "You are wrong about Spark," Duhayan said. "It is not like you. It does not want to hurt innocent people." Morthok's eyes narrowed. "Then I will teach it the proper way." He swung one massive claw at Duhayan. Spark moved like lightning. The small dragon intercepted the claw, grabbing it with its tiny hands. Blue electricity flowed from Spark into Morthok. The general roared in pain and pulled back. "Impossible," Morthok shouted. "You are just a hatchling." Spark was changing again. The creature was growing larger right before their eyes. Its wings spread wider, its claws grew longer. The electricity around its body became a brilliant blue fire. "The air is awakening its true power," Kiplun whispered in amazement. Morthok attacked again, this time with both claws. Spark dodged and struck back with bolts of lightning. The general was faster and stronger, but Spark was quicker and smarter. The battle filled the cave with light and thunder. Rock fell from the ceiling. The air smelled like burnt metal. "You fight well for a child," Morthok said, "but you cannot win. I have fought for thousands of years." He grabbed Spark with one massive claw. The small dragon struggled, but Morthok was too strong. "Now you will come with me, or I will crush your human friends." "No!" Duhayan shouted. He ran forward. Even though he knew he could not fight a dragon, Morthok backhanded Duhayan with his free claw. The human flew across the cave and hit the wall hard. He slumped to the ground, not moving. Spark saw its friend fall. The dragon let out a scream of rage that shook the entire mountain. Its scales blazed with white-hot fire. Lightning erupted from its body in all directions. Morthok dropped Spark and staggered backward. What is this power?" Spark was no longer small. The dragon had grown to half the size of Morthok. Its eyes blazed with golden fire. When it spoke, its voice was like thunder. "You hurt my friend," Spark said. Its voice was young, but filled with ancient power. "That was a mistake." Morthok recovered from his shock. "You can speak? Even better. The queen will be pleased." "I will never serve the queen," Spark declared. "These humans are my family now." "Then you will watch them die." Morthok lunged at Sujin and Kiplun, but Spark was faster. The young dragon caught Morthok in midair. They crashed to the ground, wrestling with claws and teeth. Spark was smaller, but its electricity was more powerful than anything Morthok had ever faced. The general's black scales began to crack and burn. "How is this possible?" Morthok gasped. "You are just a child." "I am the heir of flames," Spark roared. "And I choose who I protect." The battle was turning. Morthok was strong, but he was old and slow. Spark was young and fast, with power that seemed to grow every second. But then Morthok smiled. It was a cruel smile that made Duhayan's blood run cold. "You care about these humans," Morthok said. "That is your weakness." The general reached into his armor and pulled out a device. It looked like a metal egg covered in blinking lights. "This is a planet killer," Morthok said. "One button, and this entire world becomes dust. Your human friends, their families on other worlds, all dead." Spark stopped fighting. The young dragon's eyes widened in horror. "You would not?" Spark said. "I would. I have done it before." Many times. Morthok held up the device. His claw hovered over a red button. "Choose air. Come with me willingly, or watch your friend's world burn." Spark looked at Duhayan, who was slowly getting back to his feet. The human was hurt, but his eyes were clear. He shook his head, trying to tell Spark not to give up, but Spark could not let millions of innocent people die. The young dragon lowered. "It's head in defeat. I will come with you," Spark said quietly. "But you must promise not to hurt anyone," Morthic laughed. "I promise nothing. But if you come quietly, I might let some of them live." Spark flew over to Duhayan. The dragon nuzzled its friend's face gently. "I am sorry," Spark whispered. "I have to go." "No," Duhayan said weakly. "There has to be another way." "There is no other way," Morthek said. "The air belongs to the queen. It always has." Spark flew back to Morthek. The general put the device away and grabbed the young dragon with one claw. "Good choice," Morthek said. "Now we return to your mother? She has been waiting a long time to see you." As they flew toward the surface, Duhayan could only watch helplessly. His friend was gone, taken by a monster to serve an evil queen, but Duhayan did not know that their separation would not last long. He did not know that this was only the beginning of a war that would change the galaxy forever. Duhayan sat in the ruins of the research station. 3 days had passed since Morthek took Spark away. The Dragon General had destroyed half the buildings before leaving. 7 people were hurt, but nobody had died. Captain Yoon was trying to fix the communication system. Kim Rubin was repairing his ship. Everyone was working hard to get off this planet before more aliens came, but Duhayan just sat there. He felt empty inside. Spark was gone, and it was all his fault. "You need to eat something," Sujin said. She sat down beside her friend. "Spark would not want you to starve yourself." "Spark is probably dead by now," Duhayan said quietly. "You do not know that." Kiplin walked over to them. The alien rebel looked worried. "I have been monitoring alien communications. The Queen's fleet is moving toward the capital world of Nexus Prime." "That is where they took Spark?" Duhayan asked. "Yes, but there is something else. Other ships are moving too. Rebel ships. The galaxy is preparing for war." Duhayan stood up. "I have to go there. That is crazy," Sujin said. "Nexus Prime is the most heavily defended world in the galaxy. You would be killed before you even landed. I do not care. I will not abandon Spark." Kim Woo-bin heard them talking. He walked over with a serious expression. "If you are planning something stupid, count me in." "Why would you help us?" Duhayan asked. "Because I have seen what the Queen's dragons do to innocent people. If there is a chance to stop her, I want to help." Suddenly, the repaired communication system came to life. A holographic image appeared in the air. It showed a massive throne. Room with black walls and burning torches. On the throne sat the most terrifying being Duhayan had ever seen. Queen Vexara was enormous, even larger than Morthek. Her scales were deep red like blood. Her eyes were like yellow fire. Golden armor covered her body. When she moved, the air around her seemed to burn. Beside the throne stood Morthek, and in his claws, held like a prisoner, was Spark. "Humans of the research station." The Queen's voice was like distant thunder. "I am Vexara, ruler of the galaxy. You have something that belongs to me." Duhayan stepped in front of the communication device. "You have Spark. What more do you want?" The Queen's eyes focused on him. "Ah, the little human who thinks he can steal from a queen. You are braver than I expected." "I did not steal anything. I found Spark and cared for it." "Cared for it?" The Queen laughed. The sound made the walls shake. "You turned my air against me. Look." She gestured to Spark. The young dragon was bigger now, almost as large as a horse, but its golden eyes were sad and angry. "My child refuses to speak to me," the Queen said. "It says humans are its family now. How amusing." "Because we actually care about Spark," Duhayan said. "We do not treat it like a weapon." The Queen's eyes narrowed. "You dare lecture me about my own child? Spark is not your property. It has the right to choose its own path." "Choice?" The Queen stood up from her throne. She was massive, her head nearly touching the ceiling. "There is no choice in my empire. There is only obedience." Spark struggled. In Morthek-esque grip. The young dragon was trying to speak, but Morthek had put some kind of device around its neck. It could not make any sound. "I have a proposition for you, little human," the Queen said. Come to Nexus Prime, serve as my heir's keeper. In exchange, I will spare your species, and if I refuse, then I will turn every human world to ash, starting with Earth. Duhayan felt his heart stop. Earth, his homeworld, his family. You are bluffing, Sujin said from behind him. The queen smiled. It was a terrible smile. Am I? Morthok, show them? The dragon general activated a device on his wrist. The hologram changed to show space around Earth. Hundreds of massive warships surrounded the blue planet. Each ship was armed with weapons that could crack continents. I have been planning this for a long time, the queen said. One word from me and your homeworld dies. Duhayan stared at the image of Earth surrounded by alien ships. Billions of innocent people were about to die because of his actions. I will come, he said quietly. No, Sujin grabbed his arm. You cannot trust her. She will kill you anyway. I have no choice. Actually, you do have a choice, Kipling said. He was staring at something on his communication device. The rebel fleets are moving. Ships from dozens of worlds are heading toward Nexus Prime. The queen heard this. Her expression became furious. Rebels? I crushed the last rebellion decades ago. You miss some of us, Kipling said boldly. And now we have something you do not expect. Hope. What are you talking about? Your heir. It has shown the galaxy that royal dragons do not have to be monsters. Some of your other children are starting to question your rule. The queen roared in rage. The sound was so loud it made the communication system crackle. Impossible! My children fear me. Fear is not the same as loyalty, Duhayan said. Spark taught me that. On the screen, they could see Spark struggling harder against Morthok S. Grip, the young dragon's eyes were bright with determination. This ends now, the queen declared. Human, you will come to Nexus Prime immediately. If you do not arrive within 2 days, I will destroy Earth and hunt down every rebel in the galaxy. Wait, Duhayan said. Let me talk to Spark first. No, please. Just for 1 minute, I need to say goodbye. The queen considered this. Very well, 1 minute, but my heir will not speak. The silence collar stays on. Morthok brought Spark closer to the communication device. The young dragon's eyes met Duhayan's across the vast distance of space. Hey there, little friend, Duhayan said softly. I know you cannot talk, but I need you to listen. I am coming to get you. I do not know how, but I will find a way. Spark's eyes filled with tears. The dragon shook its head, trying to tell Duhayan not to come. I know it is dangerous, Duhayan continued, but you are my family. I will never abandon you. The queen cut off the communication. 2 days, human. Do not be late. The hologram disappeared. The throne room was gone. Duhayan was left staring at empty air. This is a trap, Sujin said. She will kill you the moment you arrive. Probably, Duhayan agreed. But I have to try, Kim Woo-bin stepped forward. My ship is almost ready. I can get us to Nexus Prime. Us? Duhayan asked. You do not think I am letting you go alone, do you? Kipling nodded. The rebel fleets will provide cover. Many ships are already moving toward the capital. And I am coming too, Sujin said firmly. Spark is my friend too, Duhayan looked at his companions. They were all willing to risk their lives for a small dragon they barely knew. It gave him hope. Thank you, he said, all of you. Captain Yoon walked over to them. The evacuation ships will be here soon. Everyone else will be safe. What about Earth? Duhayan asked. The rebel fleets are sending ships there too, Kipling said. It will be the biggest space battle in galactic history. Duhayan looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, Spark was waiting for rescue. The young dragon had saved his life many times. Now it was his turn to save Spark, but he did not know that the queen had her own plans. She was not just using Duhayan as bait. She was using him to set a trap that would destroy the rebellion forever. The final battle was coming. And the fate of the galaxy would be decided by the choices of a small group of friends who refused to give up on each other. Kim Woo-bin's ship dropped out of hyperspace near Nexus Prime. The sight before them was incredible and terrifying. Thousands of ships filled the space around the Queen's capital world. Royal dragons flew between them like living missiles. I have never seen so many ships in one place, Sujin whispered. Du-Hyan stared at the massive planet below. Nexus Prime was covered in dark cities and burning factories. At the center was the Queen's palace, a mountain of black stone that reached into the clouds. The rebel fleets are here too, Kipling said, pointing at his scanner. Ships from 100 different worlds? This is it? The final battle? Kim Woo-bin's radio crackled to life. It was Captain Yoon speaking from the evacuation ship. Du-Hyan, are you sure about this? You can still change your mind. I am sure, Du-Hyan replied. Spark needs me. Good luck, my friend. Suddenly, 3 royal dragons surrounded their ship. Each dragon was massive, with scales that reflected no light. Their eyes burned like red stars. Small ship, one dragon spoke directly into their minds. You carry the human the Queen wants. Follow us. They had no choice. The dragons escorted them toward the palace. As they flew through the atmosphere, Du-Hyan saw the signs of rebellion everywhere. Explosions lit up the sky. Ships fought battles. Among the clouds, the Queen's empire was tearing itself apart. Look, Sujin pointed out the window. Some of the royal dragons are fighting each other. She was right. 2 groups of dragons were battling in the sky. One group had red markings like the Queen. The other group had blue markings like Spark. The royal family is divided, Kipling said with excitement. Some of the Queen's children have joined the rebellion. They landed on a platform outside the palace. Royal guards surrounded them immediately. The guards were not human or alien. They were something else. Creatures made of metal and fire, with no faces and no mercy. Move, one guard said in a voice. Like grinding metal, they were marched through endless corridors. The palace was huge, bigger than entire cities. The walls were covered with pictures of the Queen's victories, burned worlds, defeated enemies. Billions of dead. Finally, they reached the throne room. It was exactly like Du-Hyan had seen in the hologram, but much more frightening in person. The ceiling was lost in shadows. Fires burned in pits along the walls. The air was hot and hard to breathe. Queen Vexara sat on her throne like a mountain of scales and rage. She was even bigger than Du-Hyan had expected. Her red scales seemed to glow with inner fire. Her yellow eyes fixed on him like a predator watching prey. Morthic stood beside the throne. In his claws, still wearing the silence collar, was Spark. The young dragon was bigger now, almost as large as Morthic himself, but its golden eyes were full of sadness. So, the Queen's voice boomed through the hall, the little human actually came. How touching. Du-Hyan stepped forward. I kept my part of the deal, now let Spark go. The Queen laughed. The sound made the walls shake. Let it go? You misunderstand, human. You are not here to bargain. You are here to serve. I will never serve you. Oh, but you will. Because if you do not, I will kill your friends. Then I will destroy your world. Then I will hunt down every rebel in the galaxy. Du-Hyan felt trapped. But then he heard something that gave him hope. Explosions were getting closer to the palace. The rebellion was fighting its way inside. You hear that? Du-Hyan said. Your empire is falling apart. Temporary setbacks, the Queen snarled. I have ruled for thousands of years. I will rule for thousands more, not if your own children stop obeying you. The Queen's eyes blazed with fury. My children fear me. They would never dare rebel. Are you sure about that? The massive doors of the throne room exploded inward. Royal dragons poured into the hall, but these dragons were different. Their scales were blue and silver, not red and black. Their eyes were kind, not cruel. Leading them was a dragon almost as large as the Queen herself. Its scales were pure white, and its eyes were the same golden color as Spark's. Hello, Mother, the white dragon said. We need to talk. Queen Vexara stood up from her throne in rage. Zaralin! You dare bring rebels into my throne room? These are not rebels, Zaralin replied calmly. These are your children, and we are tired of your cruelty. Du-Hyan counted the dragons in the room. There were at least 20 of them, all royal dragons who had turned against their mother. "You have forgotten what it means to be a family," another dragon said. This one was smaller, with green scales. "You rule through fear, not love." "Love is weakness," the queen roared. "I made this empire strong." "You made it cruel," Zarlan said. "But your youngest child has shown us a different way." All eyes turned to Spark. The young dragon was struggling against Morthak's grip, trying to break free of the silence collar. "That creature has been corrupted by humans," the queen said. "It does not understand its destiny." "Its destiny is its own choice," Duhayan said boldly, "just like all of your children." Morthak tightened his grip on Spark. "Enough talk. The heir belongs to the queen." "Wrong," Zarlan said. "The heir belongs to no one but itself." The white dragon breathed a stream of silver fire at Morthak. The general dodged, but his grip on Spark loosened. The young dragon broke free and flew straight to Du-Hayan. Duhayan caught Spark in his arms. The dragon was warm and trembling. "Duhayan, quickly remove the silence collar." "Duhayan." Spark's voice was full of joy. "You came for me. I promised I would never abandon you." The queen watched this reunion with growing rage. "You think this changes anything? I still have armies. I still have weapons that can destroy worlds." "But you do not have your children," Zarlan said. "And without us, you are just another old dragon." "I am your queen. You were our mother first," the green dragon said sadly. "But you forgot how to love us." Queen Vexara raised her claws, preparing to attack. But then something unexpected happened. More dragons entered the throne room. These were not royal dragons. They were common dragons, soldiers who had served the queen for centuries. "Your Majesty," their leader said, "the palace is surrounded. Rebel fleets control the skies. Your remaining loyal forces are asking for your orders." The queen looked around. The throne room, her own children stood against her. Her soldiers were wavering. Her empire was crumbling. "Fight," she commanded. "Destroy the rebels. Kill them all." But the soldiers did not move. They looked at Spark, small and brave in Duhayan's arms. They looked at the royal dragons who had chosen love over fear. "No," the soldier leader said quietly. "We will not kill our own families anymore." Queen Vexara was alone. For the first time in thousands of years, she had no one to command. No one who feared her enough to obey. "This is impossible," she whispered. "This is what happens when fear dies," Duhayan said. "People choose what is right." The queen looked at Spark one last time. Her youngest child, the heir she had lost and found again, was happy in the arms of a human. Spark had learned something she had forgotten long ago. How to love without controlling. How to lead without destroying. "I could still destroy you all," the queen said weakly. "But you will not," Spark said, speaking to its mother for the first time. "Because deep down you remember what love feels like." Queen Vexara stared at her child. Slowly, the fire in her eyes began to dim. She sat back down on her throne suddenly. Looking very old and very tired. "What happens now?" she asked. "Now we build something better," Zarlan said. "A galaxy where different species work together. Where dragons protect instead of destroy. Where families stay together by choice, not force." Duhayan looked around the throne room. Dragons and humans and aliens were standing together. The war was over. The galaxy was free. "Come on, Spark," he said to his friend. "Let us go home." But as they walked toward the door, Spark looked back at its mother one last time. "You can change too," Spark said gently. "It is never too late to choose love." Queen Vexara said nothing. But for the first time in 1,000 years there were tears in her ancient eyes. The new age had begun. And it started with a small dragon, who learned that the greatest power of all was the power to choose your own family.